today's video, I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite features that I coded into my BMW 435 using BimmerCode. Let's get into it. What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. So like I mentioned in the intro, I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite features that I coded into my BMW 435 using BimmerCode, of course. Now I've made a whole bunch of videos about BimmerCode, how to use it, different types of features, but it's all been kind of sporadic. Some videos have been like multiple features, some videos have been just like for one feature. So what I wanted to do is kind of consolidate it, tell you guys about my favorite features, and just kind of list like maybe 5 of them. This is not going to be a detailed tutorial, but if you guys aren't familiar with BimmerCode, what it basically is an app that you use on your phone. You connect to your car using an OBD adapter. Historically, I've used a VP Bluetooth adapter, but now I'm actually going to be using this Keys Motorsports adapter over here. Yeah, you connect the app to your car and it basically allows you to like code in different features to your car. It's nothing aftermarket. All these features are actually already laying dormant inside your car, so you're not really adding anything. You're kind of just unlocking features that were already there. So like I quickly mentioned, this is a Keys Motorsports OBD adapter. So this of course plugs into the OBD port of your car. Now I did used to use a VP adapter, which still does work, guys, and it does work well, but this just works that much better. And what I mean by that is the VP one actually has some limitations, specifically in the G chassis. So of course this is a 2015 BMW 435, so this car is an F32, but when I was trying to code my BMW X3, the VP adapter did actually have some limitations and didn't let me use all the features. I believe we can use all of them with this one, but this isn't actually only good for something like BimmerCode, BimmerLink. It's actually good for tuning as well. So as you guys know, if you watch my channel, I'm planning on tuning my BMW 330, aka the F30, and I'm going to be doing that using this adapter here, which is really nice because obviously you can't do that with the VP adapter. The VP adapter is only really good for just like coding and stuff like that. It's pretty limited, whereas this you can do so much with it. It's more of like an all-in-one type of tool. All right, so with all that talking out of the way, let's just get into some of my favorite features with this car. This is not going to be in any particular order. I'm just going to try to name 5 of them that I use every day. There's a lot of features you can code in with BimmerCode. Some of them are a little useless if I'm being honest, but all these features I use every single day when I drive this car. It makes the car a little more functional and practical in my opinion, and it makes it feel a little cooler, honestly. So with that said, let's jump into the first one. So the first feature I want to talk to you guys about is folding mirror caps. Now, I absolutely love my car. I try to take care of it all the time. I'm sure if you guys are watching this video, you do as well. Sometimes when you park in a tight parking lot, not like this one, this is a bad example, but people try to walk between your cars, they'll hit your mirror caps. Maybe people will just hit them while they're parking. So it's always nice to have them folded in, protected, especially if you have some like nice forged carbon mirror caps or carbon fiber mirror caps, whatever it is. So originally with these cars, when you lock the car, the mirror caps stay in place. However, with BimmerCode, I coded it so that whenever I lock the car, the mirror caps automatically fold. If I can show you guys that really quickly. So just like that, the mirror caps will fold, tucking them away and making sure they stay nice and safe. And then of course, whenever you unlock the car, they will automatically unfold. This is a great feature, guys, because what I used to do before is every time I stepped out of the car, I'd press on this button right over here, if you guys can see that. And what that does will actually fold and unfold the mirror caps just like that. So you definitely can still do it without BimmerCode, but it's nice that with BimmerCode, it just does it automatically. You don't even have to think about it. Every time you lock and unlock your car, you're basically set. So this is one of those features that helps with functionality and practicality of the car. Again, just kind of keeping your mirror caps safe. But the next feature I want to talk to you guys about is more of like a vanity feature. It doesn't really do anything per se, but it definitely makes the car look a lot cooler. I actually get a lot of questions about this one, how I do it, all that type of stuff. And that, guys, is my daytime running taillights. So obviously the car is off right now and the taillights are of course off as well. But once the car is on, which I'll show you guys in a minute, the taillights do run all the time. So even during the day, like obviously it is right now, it always runs. So the reason why I did that personally is because I invested in these GTS taillights. I think they look absolutely stunning. But when they're off, as you guys can see, you can't really get a good idea of what they look like unless you get close. But once they're on and running, they look absolutely amazing. So I use BimmerCode to code in daytime running lights so that it's on all the time. But with that said, guys, let me quickly turn on the car and show you exactly what I'm talking about. By the way, as you guys recently saw, I installed a catless downpipe. So now the car is definitely louder. So I'm hoping the audio is okay when I'm back there talking to you guys. But anyways, let's just turn it on. Yep, she's definitely way louder now. that catless downpipe made such a huge difference on the car. All right, so the idle cooled down a little bit, but yeah, guys, as you can tell, the taillights are currently running. Of course, obviously, it's daylight. It's about like 12 o'clock, but the lights are running regardless. I, of course, didn't turn on the headlights. As you guys can tell, it's just the DRLs running in the front, but now I also have DRLs in the rear, which is absolutely awesome, especially on these GTS taillights. Now, this definitely is not limited to just the GTS taillights. I personally did them on these because I think they look stunning, so I wanted to show them off even during the day, but you can do them on like the LCI, pre-LCI, literally any taillights. But yeah, this is definitely a popular one I get a lot of questions on. People always ask me why my taillights are running even though it's daylight. It's a great feature, one of my favorites, so definitely making it to the list. But anyways, with that said, guys, let's jump into the next item. All right, so the next thing I want to show you guys is actually back inside the car, and that is the sport display. So now I was fortunate enough that my car is an M Sport, so it comes with the sport display right out the gate. But what I did, guys, was actually code the sport display to be a different color. So now if we come here and we go down to vehicle info and we go to sport display, and I just give it a few baby revs because I don't want my neighbors to hate me. If you guys can tell, the sport display, those bars now appear in red. Before, the sport display used to be like this weird orange color, which I guess kind of really matches the rest of the theme with this car with the orange lights, by the AC, the ambient lighting, all that type of stuff. But as you guys can obviously tell behind me, I have red interior. I absolutely love red. I think this just looks way better. I personally use the sport display all the time. Now, I don't think the sport display is accurate, and I definitely don't use it as like a dyno, but I love when I'm pushing this car and, you know, driving a little hard, that I can kind of see the sport display in action. Again, I don't think it's accurate, but it's just fun to look at. But anyways, guys, with that said, let's just jump into the next feature. The next feature I actually want to show you guys has to do with the headlights. Now, normally, especially at night, that orange bulb that you guys can see in the corner there, it is on. This is actually something someone recommended to me when they watched one of my videos. They told me that I can actually code that light off using BimmerCode. So rather than having the two rings on and then the eyebrow as well as the orange light, we can actually turn off the orange light and give it sort of like a cleaner look. I will give you guys a clip of what it looks like at night now. Obviously, the bulb is still in there, as you guys can clearly see, and it does kind of give like an orange reflection regardless. So I do want to swap out that bulb eventually. Now, yes, of course, you could have just simply swapped out that bulb for a clear white one, but I mean, if you have BimmerCode already, might as well just code it out. It's a lot easier and it's cheaper, especially if you already have BimmerCode. I will still go that next step and take out that bulb completely, but for now, this is a great solution. So another great feature, guys, obviously this is another vanity one just to make the car look a little better and a little cleaner in my opinion. But the next feature I want to show you guys actually has to do with practicality again. So let's get into that one. All right, so as promised, this next feature is practical. It does have some function behind it, unlike those other ones that I just showed you guys, and that is a digital speedometer. So of course, this car came with the analog cluster, which is great. I love the analog cluster. I do love the digital cluster, but I think for this more sporty-esque 435, I think the analog cluster just suits it a little better. With that said, guys, I'll give you a little hint about another future video coming to the channel. I may or may not have gotten a digital cluster for one of my cars. Now, obviously, I made it pretty clear that it's not for this car, and I don't have too many other cars. So definitely stay tuned for that video, guys. That should be a fun one. But anyways, let's get back into this. So yeah, although I do love the analog cluster, it is always nice to have like a digital speedometer on your car. This car also does not have heads-up display, which is unfortunate. So what I did with BimmerCode, of course, is code in a digital speedometer. And where that shows up is, if you guys can tell, in the center, you have that very, very small digital screen. Normally, it doesn't have a digital speedometer, but with BimmerCode, if I cycle through, you can now see it shows me my miles per hour. If you guys don't know, the way to cycle through that menu is pressing this button over here. If you press on it, it'll basically give you like a whole bunch of different things. It can be blank, or it can show you like, you know, your fuel economy, how much range you have left, all that type of stuff. Now it just also shows me my miles per hour. Obviously, the car is still right now, but I'll throw in a clip of what it looks like when I'm driving, guys. Again, it's not too crazy, but it is nice. Sometimes I'm just lazy and I don't want to read the actual analog cluster, which I know sounds really bad, but it is what it is. I just enjoy a digital speedometer. It's definitely not a must in a car, and it's not a must for me, but it's just a nice to have. If you guys couldn't tell, the theme of this is all these features are nice to have, so you don't need any of these features, and they're not game changers, but they just make your car that much better in my opinion. especially when you consider the cost of BimmerCode. BimmerCode itself is like 35 bucks. If you get a VP adapter, it's like 40. If you get the keys one, it's like 100 bucks. But again, you can do a lot more with that one, like tuning and stuff like that. So there's definitely a lot of great stuff there to do. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. So as always, make sure you drop this video a like, drop me a comment. Let me know if there's any other cool features that you guys use in BimmerCode. Give me some ideas that maybe I didn't even think of. Again, a lot of cool mods coming for this car. For some other cars, like I said, that digital cluster is coming, and I have some other stuff as well. We have some tunes. We're gonna be using that Keys Motorsports OBD adapter to tune the F30, so that should be fun. But yeah, guys, there's a lot to come to this channel, so if you're not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I know a lot of you guys aren't subscribed, so please just hit that button. It's free, I promise. It'll really help me out. But yeah, with that said, that pretty much wraps up this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.